Let's talk about why we're here and why it's so important.
Right.
Well, I wanted to thank Scott and our congressional delegation. The San Ysidro Port of Entry project, which is about a third done, maybe almost a half. There wasn't an appropriation in this year's budget for it, and that's absolutely critical. And our office called Scott and called Juan Vargas and Susan Davis and Daryl Issa and the rest and asked them to make sure it was in, and they went right to work, got that in the appropriation budget, and we have $226 million to complete about two-thirds or three-quarters of the project now.
Why wasn't it in the appropriations initially?
You know, I don't know. I think that Congress was kind of in turmoil at one point, and I just think that it wasn't there. But, you know, working in a bipartisan fashion, which our congressional delegation is really good at doing, and I really appreciate their leadership in helping us get that through.
Besides helping the traffic, which is what we see there on the screen, what else does it mean?
Well, you know, the delays on the border have cost, I think Sandag has calculated to cost us about $7 billion a year in economic impact, 60,000 jobs. It's a tremendous economic hindrance. And the Chamber of Commerce has been very clear about what this is their primary infrastructure priority for the entire region. And so it's just my pleasure to be able to work and actually get something out of Congress, almost $250 million to lessen those wait times, make sure that people can get across the border, and that's going to generate a lot of jobs here in San Diego.
Why do you think Congress was so willing this time around to say this is important?
You know, I have to say, I think that the congressional delegation is working together. So a lot of us started at the beginning of the year with the help of the chamber. We asked the president to put it in his budget. We got our 2 senators on board. And then for the first time in a long time, all 5 of us from the San Diego region were working together, pulling together. I often said I wanted us to be more like Texas. You know, when Texas has something for Texas, they all vote together, whether Republican or Democrat. Yeah. We just haven't had that tradition, and I hope what we've seen is the beginning of San Diegans looking out for San Diego together.
Yeah. Now, when you say they're going to create jobs opening up that border, what kind of jobs are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about manufacturing jobs. We're talking about transportation jobs. It has a trickle-down effect because you get the tourism in, but there is a very sophisticated manufacturing base in Tijuana, but 40% of every product made in Tijuana comes from San Diego. So it's all those jobs that are all intertwined, and 62,000 jobs is a huge impact on our local economy, and that comes from having smooth, secure flow across the border.
Has it stunted the growth of our trade with Mexico, the problems that we've had?
Well, there's no doubt about that. People will not go across to Mexico and then come back if they've got to wait 2 hours in line. It simply is not happening, and that happens to business executives who have maquiladora plants on the south side. They're not willing to wait in line for 2 hours either. So I think that's really hurt the economy, but this will help tremendously.
Well, and as a partnership, is Mexico at least providing any type of infrastructure on their end?
They already built theirs, so that's the ironic thing. You go down there and you look at their side is fully complete, and you see ours is kind of jury-rigged. We had part of it done, and we have a access road across. I mean, we were really behind, and so Mexico's done their part. They did it before they were supposed to, and we're playing catch up. But I'm glad we are.
We have to go, but give us a time frame now that we have the money. What's going to happen?
Well, I think we'll see a lot of completion done by 2016, perhaps the finishing by 2017. But it's big for this region. I just wanted to thank our congressional delegation, Scott Peters, once again.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Former American